Dude, is that Derek from Vice Grip Garage? Looks like him and his wife. That's crazy. Dude, that looks just like him. I'm nervous to go meet him. He's like a famous YouTuber. It looks like him and his wife, right? Oh my gosh. It's gonna be a good week here at the Hotrod Shop. I really think that's him. Wouldn't that be cool? I gotta say, wait, let Susie introduce him to me because I can be that cool. Hope it's not his girlfriend. No. That guy is a doppelganger. You know what a doppelganger is? Am I saying that right, Chuck? Doppelganger? Yeah, a doppelganger. He looked exactly like Derek from Vice Grip Garage. And what's really cool is he's actually gonna be coming out and bringing us his Trans Am. Him and his wife have had a Trans Am. Their daughter wants to go to prom in it, and it needs to be all put back together. So we're gonna go ahead and fix Derek's car. No, it's not Derek, but man, if he had a double, I even told him, like, dude, you look like, he goes, I get that all the time. But I got a challenge. If you guys know him or want to send a message to him, I will give him a car that he could, I don't know if he can fix it or not. I don't know if I'm gonna throw it out there though. I got a 65 Corvette convertible. If he can get it running and driving, he can have it. All the way home. He's got to drive it all the way home. Man, this would be a challenge. That's a challenge for you, Derek. Anyways, let's hop into the Restoration Revelations. This is gonna be a good week, man. Come on, let's go for a ride. Man, it's just a cool car. Wait till you see what I'm gonna do to it. It ain't even fast yet, baby. Before it rains, we're going to try and get one little test in. We've been working on the tuning of the car, which is the engine tuning. We've been working on the drive tuning. We're working on the handling. We've been working on the way the thing corners, and that prototype car there is getting pretty close to being done. But today we're going to be testing out the Willwood brake combos. We bought a POL is the company. They've got this blackout kit with the booster, the power booster, and I've been messing with the brakes, just setting them up, but we're going to baseline it today. Then I'll make some modifications and hopefully this week be able to wrap it up and share it in the video. I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna definitely go to organic brake pads that they use during racing. And if it doesn't stop well enough, then I'm gonna go to a smaller diameter on the master, right? Not the booster, but on the master. That means you get more leverage with your foot, press the brakes, but I'll explain it to you later. Let's get over to the building. It's gonna be a good day. The grocery getter versus the Orange Crush.
I think Mario wants to join in on this on the lawnmower.
What we're doing, Mark, is we're actually establishing how well the brakes work on a stock Chevelle versus a heavily modified one. That isn't working as good as it could yet. All right, mine stopped at 74 feet. This is 149 feet. Didn't quite get to 50 miles an hour. As you can see, I was pushing. I'm gonna try it one more time. But I'm gonna come in off the road and all the way up to 50. And let's see like how fast an old car will actually stop. I'm surprised that ours did as good as it could because ours could actually do better. Anyways, we're gonna go back and test it one more time. Preferably not fly into the fence or have a problem, but I think it'll do 149. Can I beat it? Let's go. All right, they do work pretty good. Not gonna lie, that was 52 miles an hour, 78 feet. Pretty consistent, actually. Right? About the same. Interesting. She stops pretty good. I think I can make it stop better though. All right. I guess it stops a little better than I thought it was going to do. That kind of concludes our test. We'll go back and look at some of the footage, look at some of the details. Kyle, I'm glad I didn't let you drive. That thing was really sketchy coming in. Did you see how I was sliding sideways and stuff? Houses, fences, not good. All right, let's head back to the shop, and we're gonna go ahead and switch over to organic pads up front. I don't care about the baseline no more. And like 76 feet. 76 feet at 52 miles an hour, 76 feet to stop. Not bad. You want to be able to stop like the new cars, right? Let's see if we can modify it and make it do a little bit better. We got to get to work. I came up with this wacky idea of actually changing the position of the, what would you call that? The upper mount positions of the coilover shocks, you know what I mean? We moved the inboard, outboard locations of the tops of the coilovers. We're using QA1 at this point in time. Stop it. And we had it in the neutral position when I was doing the original testing. Yesterday we moved it inboard, correct? Mm-hmm. Full inboard or?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so we moved it full inboard, which really changes the pivot location of the, kind of changes the center of gravity of the car. Because if it was like this, the car would be like this. It would want to, like, envision the car up here, it'd be tilting all over the place because you got it inboard, right? As you move it outboard, it gets more stable. As you go even farther out, now it's going to get much more stable. And when they do like road racing, like Road America, Blackhawk, typically you'll see on road race style cars, they got it very up and down. Is that correct?
It depends. There's a lot of things that go into that.
Details. Just test and try. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and actually, we're moving it up. So to do that, you got to actually put the car on jack stands. I'll show you that in a second. And then let's get a couple videos and I'll show you exactly what that looks like in the different positions. And maybe Jeff, you could scoot down there, let Kyle get a video of that real quick.
Indeed.
And then we take it out for a ride and we're trying to figure out what is the best driving condition of the cars and what is the most stable, what's the most enjoyable, what's going to give it the best ride quality. Actually, check this out. After we look at this, I got a buddy of mine coming in with a brand new Corvette. And I think I'm gonna try to take it for a test ride, but I actually want to drive his car to see what it feels like over our test track. It's gonna be a good day. Come on, let's go get to the details of the rear end and we'll show you how we adjust it. All right, we are taking it for a test burn. We have now taken those shocks that were laid all the way in and we're going to the radical, laid all the way straight up and down. Should be stiffer, should handle corners even faster. Murph, buckle up, because you are going to be going faster. And the springs would technically be a little stiffer in the back. So we're looking for ride quality, handling. All right, we'll do this. Yeah, I think it feels a little more stable. Let's see if we can take this corner. Oh yeah, that was 38 miles an hour around the corner. Yeah, it's definitely stiffer. Oh yeah, I haven't been in since the June either. Oh baby! Wow! Is that not incredible?
How fast are you going on that one?
About 43. I got the tunes out now. She's a race car now, Murph. Get up on the tires, baby. Woo! You know what? I took a customer of mine, his name's Dwayne, super nice guy, he comes in once in a while. Anyways, he's got a brand new Corvette, and I was like, I would love to see what it feels like. Oh, would you take me for a ride? And he goes, nope. He goes, you take it for a ride. Check it out, he's gonna let me drive his car. Is that gorgeous? I hope I fit. I don't know if I know how to start it. Wow, he's crazy letting me drive this thing. This is cool. All right, so how do I start it? Here. Oh shit. Alexa, buckle me in. It didn't work. I tried for that. Look at this car, Scott. Wow. Ooh, I figured it out. Oh, I'm scared. This way. All in the name of research. Man, yesterday was so much fun getting to take that 2023 Corvette for a burn. Just to feel the ride and then compare it to the Chevelle and where we're at. I am so excited. I just can't even explain what it feels like to be in that old 1969 Chevelle flying sideways with that kind of horsepower and the way it just grips to the ground. One thing I noticed about Dwayne's car too, there's an exhaust system out there that I found that actually runs on vacuum. So when you floor it, you lose the vacuum, all of a sudden that opens and it's like you've got dumps that are gonna run right out the tailpipe, like straight pipes out the back. It's on order. It's supposed to be here like tomorrow, I think. How cool is that? Hey, we don't just work on Chevelles, we actually work on a little bit of everything, and I used to love to like lay out stripes. So I'm gonna go help Brian. You told me we're going to the...
No, that's a different part, man.
You know what, Murph?
Yeah, I'm organized, I'm sorry.
Stop messing with me. Life is too short to be messed with. I got feelings too, you know. Okay, we'll go to the printer. I get to show you guys. Can you believe I get to do this for a living? How fun is that? I actually get to show you guys what was in my mind and what we printed, because I don't like the way a typical air filtration system is set up on these LS motors. It doesn't make me happy. I don't think it looks good, and I want to be creative and different and think outside the box. And tomorrow, my air filter is supposed to be in so I can work on the cold air induction side of it. But let me show you what we printed. It's cool. Man, this is hard to draw because it's two. I am doing the worst. I am definitely no Chip Foose. This has to have about 18 degrees down. This is going to need about 4 degrees tilt on this side to the engine. All right, let's see if Kyle can interpret my hieroglyphics. Come on. Hey, Kyle. Yeah. We got a total dimension. Our printable surface is what, like 33 millimeters? Is that right?
Yeah.
The front will have to be tilted down. And then this is about an 18-degree angle, I figure, to get it down to an airbox. We're gonna make another piece over there that's gonna house the filter, kind of like this.
And that one will be printed too?
Or we'll buy it. Okay. I don't know. We'll get to the secondary, but we gotta get to the first one first, right? So Kyle's actually smart. So he can get me the resources. I just got the idea. He actually does the work.
I'm gonna need some extra coffee for this one.
All right, so you get the idea. Take that with you. Try and make me a mock-up.
It's beautiful.
I don't know. Stop it. You know what I'm talking about. That was like a plan view. That's like a side view, and that was like a... it's bad. But you get it. It's like...
Yeah.
So it's like, use the ribs to support the structure because the material's not that hard. Just print it in the prototype PLA. Just see if you can get it in the box and show me about where it'll be. Just start mocking up. We'll change it. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's got to say SHR up here somewhere. Who knows? Maybe we'll sell them to people. But it'll be fun. Print your own Chevelle.
Yeah, I think
That's it?
that would be it.
All right, what's the cycle time? Day?
1 day and 2 hours.
Oh, wow. We're on it. Wow, a day print cycle. That means we don't get to play with the printer tomorrow. What are you doing?
We printed this giant piece that took 23 hours. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
Oh. Wow, look at that. Holy cow. What'd you build?
We're gonna find out. We have to unpackage it now.
How do you unpackage it?
We break it.
You're gonna break it? Wow. This is like bubble wrap. You just gotta keep breaking stuff away, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you're the professional breaker awayer. Chuck, this is just fun. I don't know why.
For the lowest resolution possible, that looks pretty good.
I know, right? So that's the support. You know, basically what we're doing is you can't build a tower in the air. It actually has to have support places to land. So all this material, unfortunately, is very fun to pull apart, but it all is kind of like gets wasted. And then you could use it for antennas if you, Kyle, we could be aliens. I am an alien. Welcome to Printerville. I love that 3D printer because we're actually making some cool stuff. This is a typical air induction setup that people put on LS motors, and they would hang off to the side. They'd have a filter on it, not a giant filter. I like bigger filters like this one. See the size difference? That's 800 horsepower at the wheels in that Mustang. But anyways, so this filters type system is something that everybody uses on a resto mod. Pop the hood of any one of those resto mods, you're gonna see something that looks like this. If it's got a supercharger or it's got a turbo, you ain't gonna see this, but If you see most of the hoods, pop those resto mods and you'll see this style. Now it's not bad, but I'm gonna do something much cooler. Yeah, cooler. You know why it's cooler? Because I'm gonna make an induction system. You know, the old cars in the old days would have fresh air intakes, you know, the SS Chevelles with their cowl hoods. There was a reason for that. You wanna get cool air into the engine bay and feed your motor as cool air as possible. It's denser and you get more oxygen per square inch. Does that make sense? It does make sense. Let me show you what this looks like, the norm, but let me show you how I'm doing it different. Come on. This is the kind of system you would see on a conventional LS build. We do it, we've done it 100 times, but because these Chevelles are not one-offs, we're gonna produce them over and over and over and over. I'm going with a little different strategy. Let me show you. So I just ordered our polished stainless 4-inch stainless steel to come in, and I just picked it up actually. And this nice little ditty you saw us make is part of our cold air induction system that's actually gonna mount on our number 2 car. So this is fitted to go on there. Isn't that pretty? How cool is that? Now, we're gonna take a stainless steel, there'll be another rubber interface that goes on here, let me get it. Because this is a prototype and it's a soft plastic, we use what's called a PLA, which is basically for prototyping. When you wanna do this, we're gonna actually wanna build this out of ABS, high temp ABS, not PLA Rapido. Rapido means it prints really fast, but here's what's cool. Got a 3.5 degree angle down where the air comes in to this plenum. And then this is 18 degrees down. Why? I'll show you. So you put this together, boom, boom. Now look at that. We got this bad boy pointing right here at our piece of cardboard. This piece of cardboard is the beginning of the prototype. We're gonna actually make this tube come down in this thing here, and then we'll have a filter. I'm not gonna use a panel filter. I've actually got a Z06 Corvette, which is a little bit smaller, a little bit rounder. It should be here tomorrow. Anyways, we're gonna put the air panel filter in this area here as our induction hose comes here. And then under the inner fender well, you'll actually see the cold air induction that's gonna be down in this area here. So as you're moving forward, you get nice cold air shooting right up into your engine. It makes a difference, and that is something that we're doing that I haven't seen anybody else do. It's kind of cool. Not cowl induction, but cold induction, like a Hellcat. You seen Hellcats use that one headlight location? I want my headlights. This is gonna be even cooler. All right, toot along as we, toodaloo, as we actually design these components. I'm designing around the filter and work our way out because we have the ability. It's not that difficult, it's just fun. Build them unique, original, and repeatable. I like it. It's sharp. All right, off to the number, whatever, I gotta find my way. Whew, it's been a busy day. The holiday weekend's coming up pretty quick here. And I've got some customer of mine that's actually flying in tonight. He's gonna be here in the morning. His timing is immaculate. We've been working on getting this area set up to actually take the number 4 car apart. And today, we got confirmation that an NFL player, I'm not gonna tell you who it is actually shipping his Chevelle to us, and we're gonna make one of our Restomod cars. He's had the car a million different places, wants a really good car. He goes, Harry, I've been watching what you're doing, I want you to do it. I'm like, wow, what an honor, how cool is that? So that was today, and they're showing up tomorrow, and we will be taking the body off the chassis and getting ready to get over to the fab shop. Man, it's been busy. I'm gonna go continue working on my Chevelle as the boys take it apart. You can't tell I'm excited that we're actually ripping apart car number 4 now on our pseudo-invisible production line. Yep, that's right. I'm using my main shop. I thought I'd be at the other shop by now, but hey, we run some of the parts of the other shop, like that chassis, but we're gonna run that body right back into my body shop and start fabricating on that bad boy. It's gonna be sweet because it is gonna be slick, and it is getting an LT4. Oh yeah, and the 6L80E. Boom. No more than they say, they come and they go. And that one is a go. It's the Black Pearls chassis. What's gonna be fun is we're gonna actually have 2 chassis now that we're working on at the same time over at the fab shop. And you're gonna see one at the end of the process and one at the beginning of the process. And I really hope I can leave them together long enough where you can actually see the comparative, what it looks like to begin with, and actually right next to it, what it's like when it's done. Okay, today we're gonna be having some fun. One of my customers that I actually built a 67 Chevelle for He lives in Switzerland. It's a long story, but he's watching the videos. He's tagging along. He's seen all the cool things we're doing in my cars. And since I built this a couple years ago, he's like, Gary, how do we take this one to the next level? So let's grab his car, and we're going to go check on the other car with the Black Pearls chassis in Media Blast to see where she's at. We've got 2 chassis now in production over at the Fab Shop. So let's take a quick ride in a cool 1967 Chevelle with a 427. Oh yeah. Ain't she gorgeous? He said, Harry, treat it like it's yours. Do some burnouts. Go. And then Susie's like, don't do it. Got your keys, Mike. That's good. We built some fast cars, baby. Mike, I'm not going to hurt your car. You told me to drive it like I owned it. And Susie said, bad idea. Funny how the suspension in these cars, we're testing the Chevelles that we're building, and you can see by the ride how it's moving. I'm in the driver's seat, right? And Murph's in the passenger seat. And something I've come to realize over the last couple weeks is the suspension. Murph, you feel how you're moving up and down in the seat?
Oh yeah.
The springs in the seat are really part of the equation of the suspension of the car. So not only do you get sidewall, not only do you get springs, ouch, not only do you get springs, you get sidewall, that kind of stuff, but the seat actually moves. And we don't have that in our current version of the cars that we do because we're using Recaros and whatnot. So the springs in the seat are actually part of the suspension of the cars back in the day, like this one. I ain't got that in mine. All right, let's go check it out. That is a fun Chevelle, ain't it? So this one is, we got 2 chassis over here. Just to go over real quick. This is going with the LT4 in the Ghost Gray car. This guy's name is Chad. He actually came out last week, or the week before. Nope, that was Andy last week. Oh, I'm old. You know, I got excuses. I gotta get changed. No, we're gonna have fun because in the booth right now, in here. So if we open that door, might be able to see him, maybe not. Let's take a look. I hear him. You hear him? Kind of cool, right? It's like a whole, like on Mars. Anyways, let's walk you through something between the differences in the chassis. If you kind of see them side by side, that's it. As you can see, this chassis is pretty well populated and get it. So it went through Media Blast, comes over here. We do the fitment of the engine and transmission, and at the same time, we stiffen it all as we carry all the way from the rear torque boxes all the way up to that horn, or that part, it's not a horn, to that curvature in the frame from the OEM. So repurposing the OEM chassis has worked out really good for us. There's some reasons that it worked out really good. First of all, we're recycling the fact that we're using those old chassis, which I think is really cool. And then we box it. You know, this edge right here, like on that edge right, you can get this. No, from here. So this is all an open channel, and I'll show you on the other chassis. All an open channel. So we weld that up. We put this reinforcement bars, we get this on it, and then we use that trans support to actually make it part of the chassis. So it's super rigid. It's like an I-beam construction right here. See it? So a lot of people use and sell perimeter chassis. Yeah, I'll show you. I got one over here, a Roadster Shop chassis. I'll show it to you right now. Come on. Over here in the junkyard, we have a Roadster Shop chassis. This goes in an F body like that TA, that Firebird. I think it's from 70 to 81, give or take. F body is a GM Camaro. Camaros, Firebirds, Trans Ams, that kind of stuff. But this is actually one, this is their spec chassis. So Roadster Shop sells high-end ones, and then they sell their spec chassis, which is their price competitive version. But this has been set up, I think, for an LT4. So it comes with everything you see here. But what's different, you can see from our structure, is we're using the OEM chassis. The F-body was a unibody car, so this is actually manufactured, so you actually get your OEM body off and you set it back on a full chassis car. The Chevelles are real nice because they're an A-body car, and the A-body car means it has a full chassis. There's lots of cars that have full chassis, lots of cars that don't, right? There's Fords that have a full chassis, and there's Fords that don't. So this is made for a not full frame car like a Chevelle. They call it a perimeter chassis. You can buy these. Contact Hotrod Shop. They sell them. They have them available. I am big into remanufacturing the OEM chassis. All the body bolts are there. The mounts are there. All we got to do is make it stiff and ready to go. This also weighs a bit more than the OEM configuration, about 500 pounds more. Nice product though, man. It's a nice product. So we're in the media blast area right now, and you can see it's pretty much cleared out, so I can actually come in here without a mask. But we got the original chassis from the Black Pearl now on a rotisserie, so we can flip it around and we can move it. Actually, I was just talking to one of my guys, Joe. He says the media is really not taking off the coating that was actually on this chassis. Look at it. It was painted at one point in time. See it? So for me, I can't leave that. I just can't leave that because I don't know what's under it or what's going on. We might have to chemically strip it. That's life. That's life. But let me show you the difference. Look at this. Remember on the other chassis? Oh, look at how it has all these holes and it doesn't have any reinforcement. And again, we go from here all the way back to the torque box right about here, connecting that bad boy. But you see that this is all open channel. So this chassis, literally, you can pick up on a corner and it'll deflect because they was using the body as part of the configuration to hold it all together. So your body bushing is being worn or them being torn out of there or actually not even being replaced. Now part of the actual structure of your car is messed up because it's not tied all together. So a convertible had, believe it or not, a different frame, a different chassis. It had an extra set of bolt holes up here in front to give it more rigidity. It's just what you learn as you go through it. This one is going to be epic, but we hit a roadblock. We did not know that the sandblaster was not going to take that off. It could be a powder coat, it could be this, could be whatever, who knows. I'm going to get some chemical stripper and get that thing going. You'll see that probably in the next episode. But for this one, I got to hop over to that beautiful 442. Help Brian lay some stripes on it. The customer's got some really specific requests, and we did some really cool stuff on it. So let me hop on that, and I'll show you how that goes. We're getting ready to do some stripes. I'm going to drive Brian nuts. He doesn't like it when I bug him. I'm going to bug him anyways. We had the customer, his name's Tom, out to actually lay out the stripes, and we had some fun just laying them in different spots. It's a non-traditional area that he wanted it because the car was painted before we got it, and he liked the way it laid out, right? And then I tried to talk him into going back to conventional, and he didn't.
Right.
And then Brian and I started messing with some stripes, and I kind of went around the bend. He's like, "Oh, that's a good idea. I want you to do that. That's cool." So I went on Amazon and bought the vinyl fine line. So this is a really thin tape, and this comes in two types. It's masking tape, basically, or vinyl.
They have a paper one and then there's the vinyl.
So I bought the vinyl off of Amazon, and he's threatened to boycott the paint job if I don't use the 3M stuff. Really, it could make a difference. It could make a big difference.
Depends on the curves.
You want to use the vinyl tape when you're going to go around the curves and the edges, just because it moves a lot easier. They make a masking tape version of it too, and they also make it a 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch. That's 1/8.
This is 8.
Right, and then they make a really tiny little thin one, 32nd.
Should be 3/30 seconds.
Oh, 3/30 seconds instead of 2/30 seconds. A tiny little one, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, I've been vetoed on the Amazon version, and we will go with the 3M because it's a known equation, and you're gonna put all this work into it to save what? $3? Stop it! I just wanted to get that stuff here. Are you ready to? Anytime. Hey kids, if you haven't laid out stripes on a car, this is something you probably don't want to try at home. Not that you can't do it, but man, if those lines aren't truly straight and you measure it and you detail them out, it's not going to look like you're going to want it to look, and it's going to be there forever. If you notice, we push that tape down at the far end, then we pull real tight on it, and we gently put it down as straight as we can, preferably with not a lot of coffee. That way there's no wiggles. Oh yeah, that's how you get a nice, clean, straight line, because you can't cover that up, man. It's got to be right, or you just don't do it. See right here, Murph? It's a little fat there, and a little thin right there. So you got to let something win. Either the stripe has to win or the bodywork's got to win. And I think what we want to do in this scenario is let the movement, this hood could have that movement in when they stamped it for all we know. Sure. But I would stay with the line of the hood. Like this one's good, see?
Yeah.
You know, that one's better. This one, so just let that one
I'll
go.
move that lane out just a
Yeah,
hair.
yeah, especially in the middle.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of got a little whoop, whoop, but it's not really good other than that. I like it. Look at how beautiful these turned out after you do the stripes, and then you bury them in clear. Look at this, like a stripe lamp. Look at this, is a Mustang hood that's going up to the other shop. This is obviously off that 68 Cutlass. It's right there. Isn't it gorgeous, the colors we picked? It is sweet. So how you do that is you bury that beautiful color in the clear, and then you get like no ridges, no lines. But it just takes a little bit of time, a lot of effort, and you focus on quality. Anyways, that kind of wraps up that part of the Cutlass, but I want to share something with you. I always want to share something with you. I'm going back to the Bible, and here's what I really want to tell you today is you are good enough. You know, God's got a plan for you. He loves you, man. There's a lot of people that are famous in the Bible that messed stuff up bad. Like David. You know, David was a king, you know, man after God's own heart. And he literally took one of his general's wives, Bathsheba, saw her on the roof, fell in love with her, slept with her, got her pregnant, and he tried to cover it up, and he couldn't cover it up. So he ended up literally sent to the front of the battle lines to have him killed. He's a murderer, right? David, the guy that we all read about, a guy after God's own heart. My point in the whole thing is, God's got a plan for you. You have to take a little time out for God, you know, and going back to the Word is His Word, the Bible. So let me just read this for you. I'm going to get the point. God's got a plan for you. You have to turn to God, ask Him, talk to Him, spend some time with Him, and the Word of God, the Bible, I really encourage you guys, get a Bible, read it. Don't try to read it cover to cover. Don't worry about what somebody else says about it. Read it and ask God what it means to you, or what it means to Him. Here, I'll give you one really cool thing. I talked about David being messed up, but he still came back. He repented. There's a lot of Moses killed the dude. Anyways, this is Ephesians 2:8. For it is by grace you've been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves; it is a gift of God, not by works, so that anybody can boast. For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which He prepared in advance for us to do. Like just that. Ephesians 8, 9, and 10. For it is by grace you've been saved. You know, Jesus died for us on the cross. It's His grace, right? It's not by yourself. It's nothing you did. It's a gift from God. So I'm going to encourage you guys, get yourself a Bible. Have a purpose-driven life. You know, think about it. There's all kinds of failures. I'm not good enough in any way, shape, or form to go to heaven. That's for sure. But I do love Jesus. And I do love the fact that He died for me on the cross. And He is my Father in heaven. And I ask Him for help, and I ask Him for direction. And I fail. I fall. I fumble. I screw up. I'm human. So are you. It says in the Bible, no one is without sin, and everybody falls short of the glory of God. Everybody. You, me, the guy behind the camera, Murph. Yep, even you. Anyways, thanks for joining us at Restoration Revelations. The compressor just kicked on. That means it's time for me to get out. Peace, man. See you guys next week. Thank you. Peace.